get the words right here. What role does, or what roles does pride play in creating art? Good and bad. So I'll start. Obviously, right off the bat, your pride could like cause you some serious problems. If you're working with somebody else, whether a partnership or in a group, and you think I'm super proud of this idea. This is the greatest idea I've ever had. And you bring it to the group, and like that idea blows. Like, no, we're not doing that. And it's like, oh, well, you get all upset about it. You're essentially in one like at that moment you're kind of stifling your creativity, right? Your pride's holding you back, but it could open another door because they said no to that original one, and your pride then becomes a strength and like, well, I'm just not portraying myself properly, or they just don't see my vision, and then you just work even harder to refine whatever it is what you were doing, or you're just a jerk and you just super egotistical and you hate on them because they didn't like your idea. So that was like the one idea I had, and then the other to juxtapose it would be, if you're not proud of any work you create, well then what's the point of creating anything at all?
Money.
There's
Just
that.
ask freaking Jesse Eisenberg.
But then you'd be proud of the money that your idea created.
No, Batman vs Superman was great. Don't worry. You should all
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
it.
You don't need to watch it. It's
Just trust us. It's
just
great.
don't watch it. It's great. Don't watch it.
Um,
You don't need to find out for yourself.
is pride the same thing as hubris in this scenario? Like having that prideful arrogance where your pride gets in the way of you taking feedback. I think then it becomes an impingement on your art. But to take your first scenario, if you're proud enough to share with your collaborators, then that's the only way you're gonna get yourself out there. Like you have to have that amount of ego to even present.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or your friend's Kafka, and you never know how good you were. You know, you leave a letter for your publisher saying burn all your works, and the guy goes and gets rich instead. That's actually
How
what
did someone
happened.
get rich off of the Penal Colony? Because that book gave me cringe moments.
Well, I
from
don't even
beginning to
know.
end.
I don't even know if Max Brod got rich. He probably didn't get rich either. But Max Brod was supposed to burn all of Kafka's manuscripts, and instead he went and published all of them. And then
Good.
years later, Kafka is considered, a seminal author.
That's interesting because that's the exact opposite situation of someone who wasn't so horrified by the things they created, clearly loved them to some extent, otherwise why would he keep making them?
Well, he thought they were awful. He wrote and rewrote and rewrote.
I can just imagine writing like, this is such shit.
But
I gotta finish it now.
I think a lot of artists are like that. Is like they work so hard on an album or something. Let's take music for example. You work so hard on an album, but do you know a lot of people? Like we know a lot of. We're musicians. We know a lot of musicians. After somebody, just based on experience, after somebody releases a project, do you ever catch those people listening to themselves on record?
Dylan just caught me listening to myself today.
It was
Yeah.
knocking on the car window, trying to wake him up.
I think a lot of people.
Were you actually not sleeping?
I was kind of sleeping, but I was still listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listening to my terrible mix.
Because I think it takes a certain level of pride and ego and confidence to just release your thing. But I think that you shouldn't get. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's such a hard
It's tough,
question,
right?
Yeah,
It's tough.
yeah.
I didn't mean for it to get so heavy, but
Well,
when I
it's-
came up
yeah,
with
I mean,
it,
it's like-
gets heavy.
I mean, do you go Kanye level with it, which is just a behemoth of ego, or do you go you take a look at someone like Jack Kerouac, who ended up hating where his work went because it ended up being this pop culture
Yeah.
thing when he just wanted to pretty much write what he saw as a jazz musician.
Or
And the
even
underground,
or even
right?
Kurt Cobain for that matter couldn't
Yeah,
handle
exactly.
it. Right?
Yeah, a lot of people
yeah.
can handle it. I mean, I think that if you've produced something great, you should be proud of your hard work,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't let it stop you from creating more and evolving and changing, right? Like some of my favorite artists I started listening to when we were, young teenagers have evolved. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily love their entire canon, but I really enjoy
Yeah.
watching them change and shift.
Yeah, so I think it comes down to intention. So if are you creating art so people look at you and say, "Wow, what an incredible artist," or are you creating art just
yourself.
because you need to, because
Yeah.
you are an artist, and this is something that's inside me. I just need to let it out. You know, this is how you express yourself, and I think that's kind of the line, maybe. Yeah.
But even still, like it comes back to like being a perfectionist. You're not proud in what you've accomplished yet.
Yeah.
But to somebody else, it might be the greatest piece of work that they've ever listened to or seen, and they're just like, "Man, that is amazing." And you're like, "Yeah, it sucks. It's not that good. It's like I can do better than that."
Well, you don't want to be self-defeating either. There's
But
something to be
but
said
as
for
an
like this
artist-
is. I think as
should.
artists, if you look at if you
Check that camera. Let me just turn that.
okay, if you look at if you consider yourself an artist and you release something, I think you should carry the mentality that okay, this is part of my story. I am an artist. I'm going to continue creating art. It's something that I do. And ego aside, this is something that I've done. Release it, move on from it.
I'm not even saying like I'm officially proud enough to release it. It's like
Yeah.
I'm listening to my tunes or I'm playing dinking around on the guitar, and you guys are like, "Man, that riff is incredible."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Yeah, I don't really like it. You can have it. It's your riff now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
your
There's nothing
pride,
wrong with
pride's
a bit of
like
humility,
you have like a level of pride that you have yet to attain. It's like, well,
You need to have
that's-
just enough pride to be able to say this is what I'm working on, and then keep moving.
I come from a completely different perspective on this because I worked with comedians writing sketch comedy, and there's the pitch. The
Yeah.
pitch is all important, and you have to, even if you don't like your idea and you come in for a pitch meeting with the guys, like early production, okay, we got a show at the end of the month, we need to figure out what our sketches are. Sometimes you have some on the back burner, but sometimes you just need to come in and be ready to offer something, and you need to try and make it good, like even if you aren't super proud of it. So you have to find a way, I think, to find some level of pride in what you do so that you can keep the momentum going just on the day-to-day. Like when I would walk in, I would have an idea and I might go in and go like, I hate this idea, but I need to find the good in it, and maybe something completely different will come from it if I can find that good piece of what I have here. So I think like pride, I don't think there's any negative context for pride. I think that's a completely different feeling. Ego, I think, and like when it becomes self-importance, like, and not like, because pride in the thing you've created is parentage. It's not like if you come in with an idea, even if I don't like it, I still need to be proud of the parts that work, because
Well, I even admitted that earlier when we were talking about our weekends. It's like a couple hours ago when I had that student showcase. I was tremendously proud. What did I really do? Nothing. These are these kids that work so hard to present these songs, and I'm like so happy that they did. 25% of them didn't. They got cold feet and got scared, and they didn't have that pride that they thought they were at a point to present it to friends and family. But yeah, so and I'm comfortable saying, yeah, I was tremendously proud that I had an idea that ended up, you can sort of see it taking shape and doing something constructive. So I don't think pride in itself is a bad thing.
yeah, like I see pride from an artistic context as like respect for something that is no longer a part of you. You've taken it out of you. It came from you at one point, but now it's going to grow on its own, and you're proud of the material that's in there, even if there's some that's crap. Like you're proud of that particular part of it, and pride. If you, I guess, I don't know. It is slippery because I guess if you are so tremendously proud of everything you ever create, then there's a
Then
lot
it's
of
an ego
negative-
issue because everything that you've ever created isn't top shelf, right?
Well, yeah,
Like,
and you end up with
yeah,
movies
you're
like The
Kanye.
Room.
yeah, you're Kanye, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's different because All the Lights is the best song I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Like seriously,
yeah.
He is. I
Kanye
think
is
Kanye is
incredible,
arguably a good. Like he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
But,
I will
but
scream
he
my
thinks
lungs out
he's
to that
amazing.
song every time.
And that
that's
point
the
right there is
difference,
why
right?
I refuse to even listen to him.
But
Because
he
Oh,
might
I
be
got
playing a
it.
character. Like
He
if
could
you
be
meet,
playing a
if you
character,
meet
for
Don Cherry, Don Cherry's not Don Cherry, right?
No, for
Like,
sure.
Don
yeah.
might have had a
His
stroke, but-
But when
former
we say
PR agent would disagree with you, but
when
I'm
I
not
say
supposed to
Kanye,
talk about
we're talking
that.
about
It
the
wasn't
character,
me.
Yes,
right?
right.
We're talking about that character.
But I think,
Right.
like within art,
Hi,
it's,
Simon.
it's having something to say, right? And that's what art is your voice. You've got something to say. So there's a level of pride in that intrinsically.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily know if it has to have the quality of ego to it to make.
Yeah, I
work
think
right.
ego needs to be separated. Like, that's I think
That
pride-
boils down to intention again too,
Yeah, it's
because
intention,
then it's like if you're just doing something to get attention, then that's bad intention. So you need to just do it because you love it and you need to, and it's who you are. Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to change my topic now because I've got now that we're talking about this, do you feel like we've sufficiently